11 girls were hanging out in their dormitory when a strange message suddenly appeared in their group chat. One of the 6 people in your dorm has turned into a ghost. The dorm fell into stunned silence. No one responded. The silence in the darkness made everything feel even more eerie. Then, 2 short vibrations from someone's phone broke the stillness. A message from a user with a pitch-black profile picture appeared. The game officially begins now. Your mission is to survive until dawn. Who sent that message? Someone asked, panicked. How did they get into our group? Another girl shouted, Why can't I exit the chat? We exchanged nervous glances. No matter what we tried, the chat app wouldn't close. Emily, irritated, scoffed, One of us is the ghost? Whose idea of a joke is this? There were 6 of us in the room. Me, Emma, Ava, Lily, Emily, and Monica. Emily looked around and noticed something off. On Ava's side of the room, everything was pitch black. The rest of us had our phone flashlights on. Ava didn't. We all instinctively pointed our phone lights at her bed. The sight made us scream. Ava was dead. Her silhouette lay still, completely lifeless. Panic spread like wildfire. Call the police. Now! Someone cried. We tried, but no matter what we did, our phones wouldn't leave the chat screen. Monica quickly grabbed her coat and said, I'm going to get the dorm supervisor. She ran out the door. The supervisor's office was on the 1st floor. Our dorm was on the 5th. It would take time. Inside, we were paralyzed by fear and confusion. Emily stared at Ava's bed, her face pale and expression frozen. After several minutes of dead silence, everyone's phones buzzed again. A new message had arrived. Lock the door. Lock it now. She's outside. Do not open the door. It was from Monica. The message hit us like a wave of ice. Whatever was happening was now beyond our understanding. We tiptoed to the door. The small glass window let us see a little of the hallway, but it was completely dark. Just as we were about to give up and back away, the hallway lights began turning on one by one, progressing slowly toward our door. These are motion sensor lights, someone whispered. They only light up when someone walks past. The lights continued down the hallway, growing closer until the one directly in front of our door lit up. We dropped down and huddled together, crouching by the door, backs pressed together, gripping one another tightly. None of us dared look behind. The light grew brighter through the frosted glass. Then, bam, something slammed into the door. Blood smeared across the glass, followed by 2 bloody handprints that dragged downward. I clenched my teeth to stop myself from screaming. Emily, panic-stricken, grabbed a small table and shoved it against the door. Then came a familiar voice from outside. It's me! Let me in. Olivia. I'm Olivia. I froze. Olivia had been next door eating a late-night snack. Now she was at the door, drenched in blood, begging us to open it. Emily hesitated, then moved the table and opened the door. Olivia stumbled in. A deep knife wound ran down her shoulder. Blood poured down her arm. While I fumbled to open the first aid kit, Olivia clutched my arm, crying uncontrollably. It's Monica, she sobbed. She's the ghost. Everyone stared at her in shock. She stabbed me, Olivia cried. What? That's impossible, Emily protested. Are you sure you're not mistaken? Monica was the one who warned us. I'm not wrong, Olivia screamed. She's the ghost. Wait. The message said the ghost is one of the 6 of us. A wave of dread ran through me. In all the chaos, we'd missed something crucial. The message hadn't said the ghost was outside. It was one of us. Monica's warning could have been a setup. Just as that chilling thought dawned on us, another message popped up in the group chat. Be careful of Olivia. She's the one who's not right. The room spiraled into chaos. Now Monica and Olivia were accusing each other. One of them had to be lying. One of them was the ghost. But both of them were here right in front of us. That meant the danger was closer than ever. For everyone's safety, Olivia, I think you need to step outside. Without warning, Emily grabbed Olivia and began pushing her toward the door. Why do so many schools prohibit students from staying on campus during holidays? Some dorm buildings even get completely sealed off. If you're like me and insist on staying, be warned, you might experience some strange things. During the National Day holiday, my roommates had all gone home. The classrooms and dormitories were locked down. A school that usually holds thousands of students was now only manned by a lone security guard at the main gate. I had an event during the holiday, so on the third day of the break, I decided to return to school and stay overnight to make it easier to attend early the next morning. Since all the dorm staff were on holiday and had gone home, I had to climb over the wall to sneak into the dorm building around 9 p.m. When I got into the second floor room and looked out the window, everything was pitch black. The entire campus was empty. I was the only one in the dorm building. It was so quiet I could hear the faint humming from the equipment room on the first floor. After running around all day, I just wanted to take a shower and go to bed. The corridor lights in the dorm are motion activated, but oddly, none of the lights turned on after I opened the door. That felt strange, but I was in a hurry to shower, so I didn't think too much of it and rushed to the bathroom. The shower and toilet are separated by just one wall. While I was showering, I suddenly heard the sound of a bathroom stall door opening, very clearly. I figured maybe someone else, like me, hadn't gone home either. But here's the creepy part. After that single door opening sound, there were no further noises. No one using the toilet, no flushing, no door closing. I finished showering quickly and went to check the stalls. Every door was wide open. There was no one there. Confused, I thought I had misheard and started heading back to the dorm room. But just as I reached the door, before even going inside, I heard that same bathroom door noise again. In the empty hallway, the sound was crystal clear, definitely someone opening or closing a door. I rushed into my room and shut the door, pressing my ear to it. Just like earlier, after that one sound, there was complete silence. I locked the door, got into bed, and watched some videos to distract myself before trying to sleep. It was dead silent. The dorm has 5 floors, and even in the middle of the night, there would usually be some sounds. But now, the whole building was empty. I was genuinely scared being there alone. Just as I was drifting off, I heard the hallway motion sensor light turn on. It makes a soft clicking noise when it activates, and in the silent night and empty corridor, the sound stood out. I immediately noticed it. I peeked through the crack under the door and saw that the hallway light had indeed turned on. The sensor should only activate if something moves, but I didn't hear any footsteps. No sounds at all. Why did the light turn on? As I puzzled over it, I heard a noise coming from the ceiling, footsteps, like someone walking, and it sounded like high heels clicking on the floor. This is a male dorm. Why would there be high heels? And the sound pattern was strange. 2 steps, pause, as if whoever it was testing something. I quickly turned on the bedside lamp. The footsteps stopped immediately. I didn't dare go back to sleep. I stayed up playing games on my phone. Eventually, I got tired and drifted off again. Around 2:30 a.m., things escalated. I was jolted awake by the sound of someone running. It was abrupt, like a prank, pounding footsteps in the hallway, deliberately loud and chaotic. When I opened my eyes, I froze. My back went cold. The bedside light had been turned off. The room was completely dark. The dorm door was cracked open, even though I had locked it from the inside before sleeping. How was it open? My phone had somehow been turned off too. The running outside continued, fading away, then coming back again, back and forth several times. Finally, the footsteps stopped right at my door. No one entered, but it felt like the person was standing right outside. Just one more step and they would be inside. Yet they just stood there, pressed against the door. I shut my eyes tight. Minutes passed with no more sound. When I slowly opened my eyes, the hallway light had turned off. I used my phone speaker as a flashlight and powered it back on. Then I carefully turned on the bedside light and quietly locked the door again. I moved my bed and sat as far from the door as possible. I waited until dawn, packed my stuff and ran. When I got home, I broke out in a cold sweat and was drenched for an entire day. From then on, no matter what, I'll never stay alone in the dorm again.